I'm here today to discuss the release of the 1 October After Action Review that was prepared by the LVMPD Internal Oversight and Constitutional Policing Bureau. Today's report, this 1 October After Action Review, is more comprehensive to LVMPD's preparedness, response, and recovery as a result of 1 October. I think us in law enforcement, and I personally believe it's our duty to identify lessons learned as a result of a critical incident such as 1 October, and to act on those lessons learned to better our agency and better prepare the community for any future events. Our 18-month review looked at three major questions. Were we prepared? What is our response? And how was our recovery? What were the key strengths identified? This is my opinion. You may have your own opinion after you review the report or go through that. But personally, I believe the partnerships that we forged with Southern Nevada first responders helped us serve our citizens that chaotic night. Regular multi-agency training exercise no doubt saved lives that night. And communicating with our network of private security workers resulted in the lockdown of key properties on the Strip within minutes. This 158-page report with 93 recommendations, approximately 40% which have already been implemented, the 40% were identified early and needed to be acted on without the benefit of a report. So as you can imagine, it would be malpractice for us to wait 18 months to, once we've identified some key issues in response to a critical incident, not to act on them immediately. And that's the result of the 40%. So the remainder of the 60% are things that we have identified through the process, and that will take a little bit of time for the Bureau commanders and responsible folks to complete those tasks. An example being making sure high-rise structures that face open-air venues are secure, implementing expanded training to address elevated threats to include rifle training, extra supplies of trauma kits at major events, and the presence of fire commanders at large-scale events. I won't go through all the recommendations, but I can say there have been some important changes that have been put into motion as a result of our findings, such as we found we need to coordinate more closely with the Clark County Coroner's Office, fire departments, hospital administrators to develop a plan for victim identification and next of kin notification. And any gaps that or lessons learned that we identified, we're addressing those. I've said it in close proximity event to your police department and your fire department and your public safety and your medical professions. We are fully prepared to handle any incident that's thrown at us. You can always be better. And that's the purpose of this report. Identify the lessons learned and the gaps and better prepare yourself for the future.